The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Eagles Sports Network. I'm Jay West here with Eagles cross-country head coach Brent Borden. The Eagles travel to Spartanburg, South Carolina this weekend for the NCAA Division II Southeast Regionals cross-country championships. Brent, what are you most looking forward to this weekend?
Yeah, we're looking forward to ending the season on a really strong note. Coming off of some good performances at conferences a couple of weeks ago, we'll have a lot of similar competition, so we're looking at gauging where we need to be and beating out some of those teams that narrowly got us at conference. Obviously, on the women's side, looking at finishing ahead of Lenore-Rhine. On the men's side, beating out Emory and Henry and Mars Hill, kind of taking that jump forward as we look to be one of the more competitive teams in the region next year.
What's been the approach in practice? Y'all had an off week last week. Gives y'all some time to rest and recover going into this week. Just kind of what's been the emphasis this week?
Yeah, last week was really our last big week of training. We did two workouts. Obviously, we're dropping the volume and intensity, but it was our last big effort getting ready for regionals. This week's about having everybody feel fresh and ready to go. The work's put in. The hay's in the barn, as they always say. The work's put in. And, we're just looking forward to peaking at regionals and getting everybody fresh and ready to go. Some small tune-up workouts. Telling the athletes to take care of the details. Obviously, to focus on hydration, as we always do, sleep, eating the right kind of food, getting yourself primed and ready to go. Even though you've put in a lot of good work and can be really fit, obviously you still have to take care of those details for performance.
Looking at this week, like you said, you have a lot of the same competition that y'all saw at the SAC championships. What is one thing that you would like to see from the team to maybe improve upon to get into those top higher results?
Yeah, what I really liked from conference is we had our scoring margin was a little narrower, so we had our 2, 3, 4, and 5 runners a lot closer together. Want to keep them even closer at regionals. Obviously, continue to work down, especially at 4 and 5 spot. On the men's and the women's side, it'll make a huge difference for where we are placement-wise. It could be the difference between 12th place and 8th place, depending on the kind of day that our 3, 4, and 5 have. Obviously, Colton and Jenna, we're looking to have some big performances individually and, possibly have some all-region finishes for both of them. And then for the rest of that scoring crew, we're looking at just having them close together. Women did a really good job at conference. Peyton, Maggie, and Carmela were all very close together. Looking to have that similar thing at regionals and a good race out of Nicole as well. And on the men's side, having everybody healthy, obviously. Great races from Bryson, Andrew, and Garrett at conference. Just looking to have Bryson, Henry, Garrett, and Andrew have a solid performance at regionals and be as close together in a pack as they can throughout to help us points-wise.
Looking at the end of this meet coming up, depending on some of the results that come in, there is potential for some nationals competition. But at this point, y'all wrapping up this season. Just a little bit of your first season as being a head coach. What's been your experience so far, and how has this team really helped develop you in that role?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it a lot, and the team responded very well to my instruction and my coaching early on. And I think being a former athlete here and very recently being teammates with some of these athletes and them seeing my personal competitiveness and drive at practice, I think that helped them trust me a little bit more when it comes to coaching. Everyone's responded pretty well. I like the level of competitiveness I've seen, but also everyone's been very bought into the program this year, especially a jump up from last year. Having a full-time coach has just made a tremendous difference for the distance program, and obviously we're going to recruit. We're going to keep building up the program and bringing in the right people. But, I'm pleased with how this first season has gone. Expectations weren't very high, given that we lost so many people from last year and the roster numbers were just a little lower. So we're really setting the standard and the framework to come. And the great thing about next year is we return every scorer on the men's and the women's side is going to come back. Our entire men's roster comes back because we don't have any seniors. So just adding depth and numbers next year with recruits that are going to make an impact, but having a more experienced squad that's been at conference, they've been at regionals, that's going to make a tremendous difference going forward, and that's really what we look at. Obviously, this will be the last meet for most. We have Colton on the men's side has a very legitimate shot at a nationals qualification, and he is, he's right on the cusp of that. He's more confident than I've ever seen him going into this meet. If he has the kind of race he did at SAC championships, we're looking at an individual qualification for nationals. Comes down to the way the field plays. Obviously, you have the way the selection process works is you have 3 individuals that typically go out of each region to nationals, and there's 8 regions total. And it's the top 3 individuals that aren't on one of those top 3 qualifying teams. So obviously, in our region, we'll have Wingate, who's going to be top spot on the men's side. You'll probably have Augusta, who's going to be that second spot, and Anderson is going to be third spot. All 3 nationally ranked teams. And then Catawba could get an at-large bid for a team as well. So really looking at Colton to go out there and run with that top pack like he did at conference. I think he's in for a great race. We're excited to see what he does. Very similar thing for Jenna. She's capable of an all-region performance, and I think if she has a similar race that she did at conference, just with a small step up, she's right at that level as well.
Brent, thank you so much for your time and good luck this weekend. The Eagles travel to Spartanburg, South Carolina this Saturday, November 9th for the Division II Southeast Regionals Championships. I'm Jay West with the Eagle Sports Network.